So this isn't a product that I've personally used, but when I saw it online, I thought it was interesting enough to be worth pointing out. And it's the Kipon, I think that's how you say it, focal reducer. And what's interesting about this specific focal reducer is that it's a medium format lens to full frame focal reducer. And you can use this with the Sony cameras. Now, I don't have an A7S. I am a fan of the camera. The A7S, this A7S Mark II, the A7 series in general are great cameras, and I know a lot of people who love them. So if you have one of these cameras, you can actually get a focal reducer that will let you use medium format glass on the Sony body. Now, the adapters are specific to the medium format lenses, and a lot of people don't have these, but you can find them for reasonable prices. I wouldn't say that they're dirt cheap or super affordable, but they're definitely reasonable priced. So if you get a good set of medium format glass that matches with this adapter, you can actually use that to get a medium format look on your Sony cameras. Now, again, I have not used this myself. Maybe there's some optical quality issues. I don't know. You probably need to do a little bit more research yourself. Myself, I just saw it and thought it was really interesting because if I had a Sony A7 camera, I probably would consider checking this out and getting it. And maybe that will happen one day. I don't know. I don't ever know what the future holds, but regardless, if you have a Sony mirrorless full frame camera, you might want to check these out because it could be that extra aesthetic that you want to use in certain situations. I don't know, there's a lot of people who think full frame is even too big for video, and then there's other people who swear by full frame and they want to go even bigger. I wrote a blog article, I think 3 or 4 years ago now, on my blog where I was talking about the future of video being larger than full frame, going towards that medium format. And now I think Pentax has a medium format camera that'll shoot video. I don't think it's that good a quality, but you know, it's getting there. It's a bigger sensor, so it takes longer. I mean, if you remember the 5D Mark II and it being a full frame camera that shot video, there were a lot of restrictions that came with that and compromises in terms of image quality. And now we're just catching back up to that, you know, full frame consumer level video camera being a possibility. You've got things like the Sony series. You've got, you know, Super 35 cameras that are mirrorless, and you can put speed boosters on and get that full frame look. Now we're starting to see things kind of push more towards medium format. I don't think it'll ever become as popular just because I think it's more expensive. It's harder to work with. But if you've got a Sony camera already and all you need to do is buy a focal reducer and some new lenses, hey, those are the things people love to buy, right? So I'll probably put a link to this stuff down in the description if you haven't Googled it yourself already. So you can just click down there for easy access to the stuff I'm talking about. But check it out, do your own research, see if other people have shot with it, find reviews and test footage and see if it's as great as it could potentially be. I know there are, you know, photographers have been shooting medium format and large format forever, since the beginning. And video, it takes longer to catch up. It's more processor intensive. It's very difficult to do digital video with these larger sensors. So if this is a kind of nice workaround where you can have the full frame sensor but the medium format look, hey, that's great because it's another option. It's not something that you should always do. I don't think there's anything that is always the case. You know, I would never say that, but it could be something nice just to add to your collection. That way you have the option if you ever need it. So check it out. And if you do end up buying one or using one, renting one, I don't know if that's even an option. I doubt you can rent these adapters, but maybe, I don't know. It depends on where you live. If you do get your hands on one, I would love to hear your feedback. Like I said, I don't have an A7 camera, so even if I got one, I'd have to rent the camera, and it would be a whole deal. Maybe one day. But if you ever get an opportunity to check it out, let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback and see if this is something I should pursue further.